Hi there, welcome to another Tiny Tuesday. I'm Christy here at My Artful Adventures. Today we're going to make a fun little bookmark. And you know what? This idea is probably, when you see what it is, it's fun, it's easy, and it's going to be kind of quick. And I hope sometimes when you see some of these ideas, you don't think, oh my goodness, that idea is as old as dirt. Because you know what? Not everybody is as old as dirt, and for some people, it might be a new idea. And, we can all use other ideas, right? So instead, I hope you'll reframe that and think, oh, thanks for showing me that. I hadn't thought of that in a long time. So anyway, let's get with it. We are going to make this easy, and we are just going to use an envelope. You know what? My mom used to make these when I was a kid, and I'm going to seal this envelope up so I don't even have to think about, where it's open, where it's closed. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here along the edge here and just seal it up. Then we're going to cut the corner off. And what got me thinking about bookmarks is our great-grandson, he is a very avid reader, and I saw he had a loose bookmark, and I thought, oh, you know what, if he had one of those corner ones, that would be kind of fun. And so now this one, I'm not going to give him this one. This is going to be too foo-foo for him. But still, we'll use this for an idea, okay? So what you want to do is, I like to make them so that they are an equal distance on here. And so let's see, how far does this go down? It is almost, what is that line? Oh, here's my measurement over here. It's a little, oh, here I can push it over and tell exactly. It is about 4 1/8. So what I want to do is I also want to measure 4 1/8 on this other side, and that's where I want to cut it to. I want to cut from that corner across here and make it a nice triangle. But all I have to do is turn it this way, and I'm going to mark it with a pencil, because that way I can find it very easily if I just mark it with a little pencil. Just make a little mark there. Now all I have to do is cut it from corner to corner, and that's going to be easy. I can see my little cut track here, and I'm just going to do it just like that, fold it over, and then just slice it through. And now I have, a nice little triangle. It opens like this, and that's going to be the part that we put on a book page. And you know what? These are so fun because you can certainly use them for journaling or whatever. Or not journaling. You can use them for junk journals, is what I was going to say. So you can use it as like another kind of embellishment. Now, I'm still working with some of these pieces of paper that I've got that were samples. Now, this looks, to me, it kind of looks dated. I like this. I mean, this looks like you could use it any time. And you know what? If I use it on this side, I can get both of these on this 6x6 piece of paper. And so that's what I'm going to do. But let me show you a little trick. Now, when you've got something like this and you want it to be a little bit more, a little bit less, and you want a little bit of a border, because I want to have my white sticking around the edge as kind of a little border. What I want to do is I want this to be about 1/4 of an inch smaller, okay? So if it's 1/4 of an inch smaller, well, what did we say? We said 4 1/8. So basically, I could put it back on my cutter. Let's make this easy, you guys. Let's put this on here, and we can actually mark where we want it. So that would be about, let me push it out here past this. So it would be about 3 7/8. And, you could do it anything. Maybe I'll do 3 1/4. And then I want to do 3 1/4 on this other side, but I need to do it up from the bottom. So let's push it up this way. So actually, here's 12. This is going to be a little trickier. I didn't even think about this. So 3 this way would be 1, 2, 3, and I said 3 3/4, didn't I? So I need to put it right here. So now I've got both of those marked, and now I'm going to put them back in that track again, both of my little cut lines. Just put them in there so I can line them up, and I'm just going to slice it and hope for the best. And now, if I'm thinking about this right, we'll have a little bit of a border all the way around. There we go. And that's, you know, that's an easy way. So now that I've got that marked, I don't really need to make it that hard on myself this time, right? Let's just take this one, and I want to put it, I'm going to put it on both sides. So this time I can just line it up and draw it that time. And now I can, well, I can't pick it up. There we go. So this time I can just do it like this. I still have my little cut track. So I'm just going to put it right there, slice it off. Now I've got one for both sides. And if you wanted to, when you've got something coordinating like that, if I wanted, I could put one on one side. You know, I could put it like this on one side, and I could put it this, you know, the other way on the other side, which I might do. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I just like the circly thing. I like this one. So I think I'm just going to keep that and use that. And now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue this. Now, if you wanted to, you could edge it with some distress ink. And, you know, I just think I want it clear, or not clear. I just want it kind of clean looking, okay? And so, you know, all of the options are just up to you at this point, right? You can embellish as much as you want. But you know what? Because I'm thinking about this being in a book, I don't really want a lot of bulk. Now, if I want it to be in a junk journal, then I can certainly add more embellishments that way and, you know, make it more dimensional. I can do whatever I want, and, you know, it's just every time you make something, there's all those fun little choices that you get to make. So I'm just going to do this. Put that there. I'm just going to put one on the other side. And now if we wanted to, I mean, it really works right now, just like it is. We wouldn't have to do another single thing, right? Because we've got our little decorated corner bookmark, and that could be it. So let's go ahead and cover this. And you know, I don't even really mind that you can see the edges of the envelope flap, because once we put this on here, you really aren't noticing it that much, right? Look at that. See, you don't really notice it. And this is the side that the flap was on. I think it's right here. You can see it right there. So that's really not bad. So now you can just pick something out. And you know what? The other day, I did that video on using the photo mount pages to keep your, you know, flat ephemera. This did not get put away yet. And you guys, this was so full that when I opened it and bumped it against myself, it all came flying out, or all the top layer came flying out. And I'm like, well, isn't that a mess? I'm like, oh no. And I like these. Oh, I kind of like this because it's got, well, that's kind of big. I don't know. Let's find something a little bit smaller maybe. Well, that'll fit, but it's not very centered, and if I center it, it's going to fall off the edge. Well, this might be harder than I thought. Is that going to be harder than I thought? Oh, here, look at this. This will work because our leaves are on the bottom, and the bottom is, you know, the longest section. So I like this one. And I can either use this one just like it is. I think I'm going to do a little bit of inking around the edge to kind of give it just a little pop on that page. And, you know, otherwise, like I said, everything you do is just, you know, up to you. You can make it look special. You can make it, you know, just plain, fancy, whatever you want to do. So let's just put this on here. And now when I lay this down, it's going to pop a little bit more. You'll be able to see it just a touch more. And now let's glue that down. And then I've got this other little piece of lace that I actually took off an old vintage piece of fabric that was damaged. A lot of the fabric was damaged. I don't know if it had been, I don't know if it was a tablecloth or what it was. I really don't know. But it had holes in it, so I'm sure it had some kind of, you know, problem. It has been washed. I should move that up a little bit. But I've got this tiny piece of lace. Now the lace isn't, you know, it's not too thick. So I think I'm going to put that on here. Now this part here, they turned the corner here, and that's got, I don't know how that's gonna work. You know what? I might just snip it, because as I glue it, I think we can just make it work, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't know. Is that gonna work? I wish I could see. I cannot see the stitches in that for anything, or I could remove some of the stitches. Now if I wanted it kind of clear across, and it's kind of crookedy down there, but let's just do it anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll just put my glue across the bottom and get it stuck down, and then I'll be able to see which direction I need to move that, left or right, or however that's going to work, right? Because I do want it to come clear across like that. I want this to be able to be trimmed off and even. Now when I get this down here, now that really isn't too bad, you guys, where it turned that corner. I mean, it's a little bit messy, but you know what? Sometimes when you're working with these older fibers and things, that's just not something you're worried about, right? But look how cute that is. And I'm not, you know, we can see it from this side too. Actually, if you put it on a page, you're not going to see it. When you put this on a page, let's see. Let's play like this is a page. And we're just going to slide it on here. When we slide this on here, you're not going to see the other side. So, I mean, you could put lace on both sides if you want. You don't have to. It's all about just what you want to do, right? And I'm just going to trim this a little bit here. And a little bit right here. This one I can actually make better. I should have pulled that over a little bit farther than I did. And I could trim that a little bit. But look at that. Isn't that a sweet little bookmark, you guys? And that's all there is to it. So I tell you what, I hope that you have enjoyed this, and we'll come back for other Tiny Tuesdays. If you've enjoyed this, I hope you'll give me a like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know. You guys, I'm really curious. Have any of you made these before? We used to make these all the time when I was a kid. My mom used to make these for some bookmarks. Let me know if you've made them before. But isn't that fun? Don't you love bringing back? I mean, if it's a good idea, it's a good idea, right? Doesn't matter how old it is. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. So I'll see you next time on Tiny Tuesday. Bye-bye.